sad, sad day. It seems like black lives don't matter. We know it matters, but to the people who are supposed to protect and serve, it doesn't. And the district attorney office, it doesn't. Not in the Bronx, not Brooklyn, and surely not Staten Island. So, which government agent is going to step up and say to these cops, these murderers, these devils, because they are devils. The ones that's committing this crime are devils. Stop. You're going to be punished. You're going to be held accountable. And you're going to do time when you commit this crime. Because time and time over again, it's the same thing. No true bill. And when they do come up with a true bill, like in the case of Akai Gurley, and get convicted, the DA comes and recommend no time, no jail time. Which one of us would be that lucky? Think within yourself. Do you think any one of you, any one of us would have been this lucky? Even if we had an accident where we killed someone? This system is so corrupt. And it needs to be changed. The people who we put in office, most of them are not doing anything. Ken Thompson, you did some good. But as Mr. Barron said, everything that you have done good, washed away. It's gone by the mistake that you're making right now. There has to be accountability. And accountability is not staying in your house and be fed, and your family bring you money, your friend bring you money, and 1,000 hours of community service. That is not justice. Akai Gurley is dead, not coming back. Eric Garner is dead, not coming back. My son Ramali is dead, not coming back. And none of these officers is held accountable. None of them are doing time. We are hoping this judge will do the right thing. And all we can do is hope and pray. Because personally, I have no faith in the system. None at all. Because it's business as usual. They get rewarded, they get promoted, and they retire with big pensions. Meanwhile, they suffer the pain of a lifetime of losing our loved one. This is my son. He will never come back. Richard Ace is out there walking around. Made over $25,000 in extra salary last year for killing my son in his own home. And the Justice Department decided they didn't have enough evidence to prosecute. Why didn't he let the grand jury decided that?
That's right. That's right.
These DAs are destroying family with the reckless decision they're making. Again, my heartfelt sympathy and condolences to the Gurley family. I don't know what else to say. Thanks.
I first want to say to Ken Thompson, I am very, very upset with you. I really felt that Brooklyn had an excellent prosecutor who was really going to bring justice to Brooklyn. For him to recommend no jail time is very sick. It's uncivilized and it don't make no sense at all. Pete Liang was convicted under a jury of law. How can you not get no jail time? It's beyond me. Right now, they're supposed to be looking into my son's case who was murdered 22 years ago, and I really felt that Ken Thompson was the man who was going to bring some type of justice to Brooklyn. Now my hopes for even getting any type of justice for my son is falling. It's just going. I feel like it's going to go nowhere. Ken Thompson, I am very disappointed in you. As far as what you're trying to press here, as far as saying that you have to prove intent. When that officer removed his gun from his holster and squeezed the trigger, what do you think his intentions were? Let's take a good look at that. When the officer pulls out his gun, squeeze the trigger, remember, guns don't go off by accident.
Right.
what was his intent, what he thought was going to happen. A bullet's going to come out of here, and bullets kill innocent lives. We are not going to stop. We don't want nothing short of jail time for Peter Liang.
It's like someone who's on a football team, his team is behind, time is running out, he's running down the sideline with a winning touchdown, and then he decides nobody's around him, he throws the ball out of bounds. It's over. The exercise of the double standard that always exists when cops are accused of violating people's rights, murdering them, assaulting them. There's always been a double standard, which is why it continues. Cops always knew that you could do anything, you can do anything in a black and Latino community because you're not going to be held accountable. So even if they say in this one instance he was held accountable, he didn't go to jail. Anybody else convicted of this crime, anybody else who went to trial and lost would be going to jail. So the signal that's being sent out to the cops is, this isn't really unique. Every once in a while there's so much public pressure that we have to go through the steps of securing, at least having a trial, and even securing a conviction. But no, in the worst case scenario, even though you murdered somebody, even though you killed somebody because your gun magically fired by itself, which the jury didn't believe because they picked up the gun, they pulled the trigger, they saw how much force needed to be used to pull that trigger. He consciously pulled the trigger into a dark alley. He didn't care. And that's what he needs to go to jail for. The signal that needs to be sent to the police are, this wasn't an accident. You're going to be held accountable for intentional murder, reckless murder. You're going to be held accountable. And that's what we need to judge, the signal that needs to be sent to the judge, but also let the district attorney's office know they went 80% of the way, and then when it got to the crucial point, they gave it up.
This is a second killing, as has been said. First by NYPD, now by the district attorney himself. Secondly, as has been alluded to in a football reference, the prosecutorial team has been let down. Their work has been undermined, undercut, and kicked to the curb. It's too bad we don't have a whistleblower protection so that those of them who know what the deal was that this DA made can't come forth and tell us what that deal was. In this country, we work under the premise that a man's home is his castle. Hold on to that thought. To the jury, we thank you for the job that you did. You heard the evidence, the testimony. Thank God there was a witness there, a civilian, who could tell us what actually happened. Otherwise, we would have heard a completely different story. Completely different story. But thank God there was a witness. Unfortunately, she had to be subjected to that and herself in danger of this killer cop. But she survived that and she gave her testimony. The jury heard that he had his gun out, violation of policy. He had his finger on the trigger, violation of policy. He didn't call it in. He wanted to get protection from his union. He went looking for his bullet. He probably stepped over the dying person looking for protection for himself. The jury heard that and said this man is guilty and gave us a conviction. What in the world is District Attorney Ken Thompson thinking? He is supposed to be the person that we go to for protection and for justice. Well, there must be a crack in his armor for him to have allowed something to penetrate, some person, some promise, some organization of some future hope for him, but he can forget it, because we won't forget this. Getting back to a man's home is his castle. A convicted killer cop is told, you can go to your castle. Right?
Yes.
You can stay in your home.
Chill out for
You can
6
get
months.
your traditional meals the way you like them, when you want them. You can have your loved ones come and visit you anytime they want. You can look at whatever creature comforts you have at any time you want. Ken Thompson, have you lost your mind?
Lost his mind and his
We
soul.
will not forget. We will not forget. Don't ever come to us for anything, and we're going to come to you for a lot because we are revolted by your actions, and we will not forget.
Kill a cop. Peter Liang. Kill a cop. Peter Liang. Kill a cop. Peter Liang. Go to jail. Peter Liang. Go to jail.
FTP. What do we want?
Justice.
When we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
If a guy don't get it,
Shut it down.
If something don't get it,
Shut it down.
If a Kyla don't get it,
Shut it down.
What do we want?
Justice.
And Thompson, you are forewarned.
Fucked up. You got the ball on this one.
Shut it down.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
We're not saying that he had any intentions of going in there and murder a guy. No, it's the man and things that he did afterwards, trying to cover up. But you didn't mention that. Now on top of that, you walked around a dead body. What part of Peter Liang is human? There's no humanity in him. Akai Gurley had a daughter, had a mother, had family members. Akai Gurley was human.
What sentence do you think the judge should give Peter Liang? How long should he be in prison?
That's up to the judge, but he need the maximum. If you ask me, the maximum, no amount of time can bring Akai Gurley back. But in order for accountability to be upheld, you have to start somewhere. So with the DA recommending no jail time, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. So therefore, DA Thompson has failed Akai Gurley, he failed the family, he failed myself, and he failed the people that put him into office. Before April 14th, look out, because this is not gonna go away lightly. How can you tell a mother that you looked her in the eyes and said that you will do everything you can do? What if it was your mother getting that news from someone else about you? And you did not have the audacity to call me? You told me to call to be available between 2:30 and 3:30. I never got the call, but the news media knew it about it. Social media knew about it. My sister left work at 4:30. En route to going home is when she found out while it was already out there. Where is the respect to the family?
So right now that Akai Gurley is being murdered time and time again, every time we get news like this, I feel it's extremely disrespectful for Ken Thompson to even recommend something like this after bold-faced lying in the faces of the family. I have zero faith in Ken Thompson. This isn't the first time that this has happened. Gilbert Drogueo was gunned down in Borough Hall by an ex-CEO named Will Grooms, and Ken Thompson failed to indict or convict that person. This isn't the first time. This isn't the last time. Ken Thompson is not for the people. Ken Thompson needs to go. Ken Thompson is a liar. He's a traitor. He sold out his community.
Ken Thompson's recommendation of no jail time and just for community service, house arrest, that right there in itself tells me that someone has gotten to him. Someone has gotten to Ken Thompson. This officer was convicted in a trial of jury. Yet, he's going to recommend no jail time? That is unheard. And not only that, for me, it's an uncivilized recommendation. For a man like Ken Thompson to recommend something like that I'm losing all my faith in Ken Thompson right now and this Brooklyn District Attorney's office in a whole, because of the fact that right now they're supposed to be doing an investigation on my son's murder. That was my son that was murdered 22 years ago. So now this whole thing right now has just brought me back, you know, to the fact that would this office, Brooklyn District Attorney's office, really stand up and do the right thing? Are they really for real justice, or are they just going to, you know, fall back the way they just? This recommendation is sick. It's uncivilized, and it shouldn't. I mean, he should have never made no statement. There's no reason for them to have made a statement after the conviction. We waiting on the judge to sentence this guy. Why did you even want to bring out and come out with a statement like that? I mean, not only that, your office prosecuted this cop. They convicted the cop. Now you want to issue a statement saying we don't want to give him no jail time. It doesn't make any sense at all. None at all.
Indict! Convict! Send those killer cops to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict!